Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
The first thing we got to say is I'm glad to see that not only am I coming up remotely from an undisclosed secret location,
the bunker,
but also that I'm live and in studio next to you, clearly, as the image shows.
It's a story of
right
two
there on the
Noels.
couch.
The two Noels. Well, see, here's the thing, is I thought to myself, I'm going to have an empty chair. Empty chairs and empty podcasts. and I was like,
only our podcast claims to be about science and has musical theater tunes.
Right.
Of course. Look, you've got a theater background. I've got a theater background. So it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I love theater.
Good. And Elise loves theater. So there you it's the trifecta now.
We've just solved it.
But I realized I was like, if we do this show and I've got you on Zoom, it's just I'm gonna feel a little off if I don't look over and see that smiling face. So I said, I'm going to do something about it.
You chose the best smiling picture I've ever taken either also, which is good too. I'm very much, that's my best work.
Yeah, that's a picture from when we accepted our award for the one last year. It was the pictures that we submitted
What are the countless awards?
Well, I don't know. Before we get started on our subject, did you see my email this morning that, Noel, we just won another award?
What? No.
Yes.
Jacob, I've been in meetings all day.
I know. That's why I was hoping.
I haven't had a chance to check anything. This is a surprise.
We won the Communicator Awards, man.
What?
We won. Yes.
What? How?
Because
Have
we're
they
awesome.
listened to the show?
Yes, they've listened to the show, and we won. So this is now the third award, my friend. We're
on a roll.
Like Matt Kovacs from Blaze, our Blaze PR team said. He said.
Yes.
He said, we're the Meryl Streep of podcasts.
We are the Meryl Streep. That is, if that's not a tag, I don't know what is.
I know.
We are the Meryl Streep of podcasts.
Yeah, maybe we could combine Meryl Streep with Siegfried and Roy. So
that's so good.
We're the Siegfried and Roy and Streep of podcasts.
Siegfried, Roy, and Meryl Streep
of podcasts. That fits our show,
good.
right?
Yeah, that fits our show. That's us. I mean, if anything fits our show, that's it. Hey, so can you hear me okay coming through? I did get the microphone to record separate audio, but I don't know if I'm still coming through, if my microphone's blocking the Zoom or if I'm okay.
No, you sound good. You sound like, it's pretty.
You sound like you're here.
Yeah. It's like having you in the studio right there.
There I am. Well, and also I've conveniently placed a door behind me.
Yeah, you have. That's a great door.
That way, when someone comes in to strangle me, like they do in the movies, you guys can see it happen.
This does look like a horror film. It does.
It does, right?
You just so happen to be positioned in such a way that the door is right behind your head, so we'd be like, no.
Oh no, my microphone's on mute. He can't hear me. He can't. No. He's being strangled. Oh, this is terrible.
Oh my God.
We have to continue the podcast with paper face. No.
Wait, you should do a skit like that one day.
I agree. This is a great idea. This is all coming together perfectly.
Yeah.
So is that today's podcast? We're just going to talk about wildness and
we're talking about wildness.
And...
No, actually, before we get started, I do want to say I'm kind of glad that we did it today because, we normally do it within a day or two of when the show releases. On the rare occasion, sometimes we have things in advance. But today, even though when this airs, this will be over, today is May the 4th.
Ooh.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
It's Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you all. Happy 4th.
May the 4th be with you. And I dressed in a snazzy shirt, but underneath I had a little treat. You ready?
What? Oh, show me. I can almost predict.
You know which one, don't you? Probably.
Is it your muscles? Is it a shirt of muscles?
No, it's my Starry Night with a Stormtrooper on it.
Starry Night Stormtrooper.
So cool.
God, I'm such a moron. I have two Star Wars shirts I could have worn.
Oh, but you're in another time zone. It's already almost May the 5th where you are.
Yeah.
You can't say too much or people are going to know my undisclosed
location. You're right.
I
can't say that you're in Ukraine.
I'm in the Eastern time zone of Ukraine.
Yes. So anyway, enough of that. It's Star Wars Day. Right. May the 4th be with you. But when this airs, we're 2 days after. May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
But no, today's subject is actually pretty fun, guys. Elise, I'm having her go in this without any idea also.
Oh, dang.
Elise, welcome to my world.
Welcome to what happens to... This is what happens to him every single time. Today, we're going to talk about video games.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it's in a positive way. It's not like
it is. We're not going to make fun of all the energy that they use or how they affect the environment. No,
because let me tell you something. That is. I
Can
do
we talk
not
about how they rot kids' brains.
Right.
Can we get really parental?
No, we are the podcast that is not going to do that because we're the podcast that's going to say video games can be used as a tool to educate, to teach, to have fun, to socialize. Absolutely. And we're not going to sit here. We're not an environmental podcast to be like, energy consoles suck too much energy and you have to stop playing games. It's like, come on, man, give us something.
Right.
Give us something.
While we're playing video games.
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
We could be just driving around hot rodding, burning carbon emissions that way.
I'm doing that too.
Doing wheelies. We're doing donuts in the dirt outside.
Donuts.
Or do you want us to do donuts virtually, wasting only as much energy as a computer can waste while playing a video game?
Exactly.
That's far less. I don't know if it's far less. I've never calculated, but I've got to imagine it's much less.
Well, yeah, and so as soon as I came across this, and I'll start with what I read, and then it was so awesome to see that this is a thing. Like this is over the past few years, this is becoming more and more a thing. But of course, I found the good stuff, and I was just curious before the show began. I was like, okay, what's the bummer run? Like, what have people written up? There's going to be a bummer run. And there sure was. There was always like people saying like, well, this is consuming too much energy and the making of these things. And I was like, I don't want to spend any energy on that. I don't.
Yeah. You know what though? I'll counter that.
Okay.
Right?
Give it to me.
So yes, it does. You expend a lot of energy making video games.
Right.
That's true.
Sure.
Right. But you expend a lot of energy making movies, more probably, because instead of having a bunch of people in a room working together on making that, you've got trucks and you've got the what they call the Star Wagon, and you've got the lights, and you've got the camera, and you've got the action, and you've got the clothes, and you've got making films is very energy intensive.
Yeah.
But we allow it because it's productive, right? We're doing something that gets people away from the video game machine and into work. Right. So like making video games, it's the same thing. It's just that you're doing it almost like making a cartoon. It's just that it's interactive.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's productive.
Yeah.
And it provides it provides a return on its investment to mankind. So yeah, you're using energy, but life uses energy. I mean, if we got to live, at some point we got to say, hey, we're doing things. Right?
We got to
enjoy
ourselves.
Sit around.
Yeah.
To be entertained.
So I think yes, it does. It does cost energy to make video games, but I think that when you're creating things that are enjoyed and useful and that people consume, there's you got to have some account for that.
Absolutely.
And also, you could control also how much energy you're using making video games because it is contained.
Yeah.
You could conceivably set up a whole renewable system to power it if you cared enough, and people should care enough. So there are things you could do to, I think, it'd be a lot easier to reduce the carbon footprint of making video games than, say, making a movie.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want people to stop making movies either. I enjoy movies. And if they do that, then I'm going to quit and I'm going to tear down the environmentalism system. Yeah.
Right. I don't want them to stop making
rebuttal.
Yes.
That's my rebuttal
and I think
that's
a fair rebuttal. And so on the positive side of things, here's what's going on with video games. Okay. So I saw this article today. It says video games get serious about climate change. So basically, there is this game coming out. It says Mirai is the animated protagonist in Beyond Blue, an ocean adventure video game set in the near future.
Fun.
Inspired by the BBC Blue Planet 2 nature documentary.
There's two BBC planets?
There's two BBC planets.
I didn't even know there was one BBC planet.
Right. They're here with us now. So the BBC Blue Planet 2 nature documentary, and using some footage from the British broadcaster, the game is designed to make players care about the marine world. So this was
that's clever.
Yeah. So this is it says Alan Gershenfeld, a co-founder of Eline Media, the US game publisher and developer behind Beyond Blue, said he wanted to create a strong protagonist who would serve as a role model for players to connect with and look up to. So the whole idea behind this is let's get people in the ocean. Let's use footage from Blue Planet. Let's get that mind-blowing, like when you watch these nature documentaries and you go, wow, everything in the ocean is like it's from another planet. They wanted to really get people to be like, how can we let these things go to waste? How can they be destroyed? I got to save them. Just like I'm saving things in this game that I'm playing. So there you go.
That's cool. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. It is.
And what's the protagonist's name?
Mirai. It's spelled. I might not be. It's Mirai. Mirai.
Now, is Mirai one of those Lara Croft style females?
Yeah, she's got like a cool scuba suit on. That's what
Scuba suit. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like kind of a scuba suit. And very futuristic. Kind of reminds me of
futuristic.
It reminds me of kind of a Metroid-looking helmet and. I mean, Metroid is not futuristic, but you know, it was futuristic for us when we were kids. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say it would be so video game if they put all this effort to make a like an environmentally thoughtful, conscious. Hey, we're trying to teach you about the environment, but then they just put a babe in a bikini running around the place doing it. And I was like, that would be so.
That would be so classic. But I'm happy to tell you that it appears as though it's moving past that, and they're saying no. Let's focus on
Metroid.
Let's focus
more
good,
Samus. That's the way to go.
Let's focus on the ocean floor and not the booty. You know, like that's
I love it.
But this opened up the door for so much more. And I think I remember about a year ago tweeting out on our social media and our Facebook that the UN has started a Playing for the Planet initiative, which is all with the video games and with the sustainable development goals. Man, it is legit. It's a full-on thing. Wow. I will link this. It is a UN-backed initiative, and this is incredible. It was like how video games can deliver for people and the environment. How can the fastest-growing media platform in the world be harnessed to deliver on the sustainable development goals and the urgent global needs they represent? We've summarized recent relevant developments in the video game sector, perspectives from over 50 thought leaders from the industry, and extracted 7 recommendations to provoke new thinking, new collaborations, new games, and real-world impact. The assessment presents a vision of how the video game industry, gamers, parents, policymakers, and UN environment can together play for the planet.
Play for the planet.
Isn't it
That's
rad?
Great. That sounds like something we would do.
I know. It does. It sounds like something we would do.
If we had the budget, that's the kind of thing I think we would do.
Yeah.
I think this is going to win or lose based on how rad the game is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
How well designed the story is. How good the gameplay is, how difficult the puzzles are, how well they ramp up the difficulty of the bad guys, you know, that you have to fight and deal with if they have any.
Yeah.
I mean that's like if it depends. I mean if they make a good game, it can really take off. But to me that's everything. Because if they just make a game that's it's educational, it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's also dumb.
Right. They got to nail it. It's got to be the cool factor,
you
right?
You have to have the violence.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's into.
Elise.
No.
You're right. You're right. It's got to rock.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to rock. Like that's the thing is that a lot of times educational or environmental things can be lame. They can be watered down. It's like you still got to find a way. Well, the good news is it seems like that's the case. One of the first UN games that they pushed behind was a mobile game, and it's actually already available. So this came out last year, and it's now available. It looks like it's in the Google Play Store. I didn't check to see if it's in the Apple Store yet, but it's out there, and it's called Reset Earth. And so basically, Reset Earth. It's set in 2084, a post-apocalyptic world where the ozone layer has been completely destroyed. 3 teenagers are teaming up to save the planet. So you're playing as these 3 teenagers, and the game looks pretty cool. It's on a mobile platform, but I was like, all right, this is off to a good start. It's got that post-apocalyptic, like, what are we going to do? We have to restore the universe. And then...
are there zombies?
I don't know.
I don't think there is. I just looked it up.
Elise is doing her awesome producer thing, and she's looking right now. She's already in the middle of the game, and she's won. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I'm playing it right now. And it is on Apple Store.
It is?
Yes.
Sweet. So Reset Earth is one that people can go check out. But there's going to be listen to this, Noel. Transformers Earth Wars. They're going to be doing one that's the whole point is to try to help people understand like environmental messages, but using Transformers.
Using the Transformers?
The
Optimus
Transformers.
Prime, Bumblebee, Jazz,
Yes.
Soundwave?
All of them.
Shockwave?
Yes. and
Starscream?
and
Megatron? I'm sorry, I should keep saying Omega Supreme?
and gluten-free Gatron.
Right? Starscan, huh?
Megatron.
I don't remember all these names.
Metroplex?
They're gonna have
Grimlock? I'm sorry.
they're totally gonna have like eco-friendly Transformers that they introduce. It's gonna be Biodegradatron.
Yeah.
And they're like,
That's so
he's a
true.
great Transformer, but he is biodegradable, and so he gets destroyed.
I'm Carbon Bot.
Carbon
true.
bot. Yes.
Wait, who would the enemies be?
Oh,
my God.
we got the Decepticons.
The enemy.
It would be Nestle.
I am Nestle Supreme. Yeah.
Nestle Supreme.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly
this
it.
is gold.
Yeah.
This is comedy
I am
gold.
Exxon Mobil. Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly. Oh man. But I'm gonna list before and then what I thought would be fun, or we could do this first. I was gonna see if we could brainstorm right here, right now in the Biofriendly Podcast and be like, okay, let's say somebody hands us a $10 million gaming development budget. We get to make one for a mobile phone, or it's like a PC game, or whatever it is. What direction could we go with Biofriendly Podcast, or like maybe some of our previous episodes, like stuff that we've covered that would make up like a cool video game idea?
Okay, so for me, I would love for it to be like my favorite video game of all time
Yeah.
is Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And that's kind of an
And
eco game to begin with, because it's really
Well,
nature.
It is.
Yeah.
Totally. And part of the thing, like, yes, in Legend of Zelda, part of it is you have your sword and you have to kill monsters who are out there.
Right.
So I think that adding some kind of zombie element, some kind of the world has gone wrong. There's been a radioactive incident, and there are half the humans are monsters, and you have to somehow deal with them, because people who are playing video games generally want to fight something, particularly the really popular ones. So I feel like you have to have an aspect of that somewhere in there. So I would definitely put something like that in there, or maybe it's robots.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like pollution.
Yeah, and
truck-
a chance to go
trucks.
online to socialize, because that's the new thing. Some people don't even play like story modes on games anymore.
Right. I mean, it's true. It's all about that social interaction, that co-op, get online, play with a group of friends that are all remote.
Multiplayer, yes, massive multiplayer online role-playing game of some kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
And I think the other aspect of Zelda that I love is that there's a puzzle solving aspect, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to pull this winch to lift that box, which lights this thing on fire, which and then that opens up this door, and then you get the sound chime. Like, I feel like you have the goals to be doing things that we talk about saving, but that the game itself is designed to be like where you are solving puzzles, you are gaining artifacts, you're gaining your characters becoming stronger as you go in a classic RPG kind of style.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game I would like to play.
Yeah.
Probably. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what we spend. If we get the $10 million, we could, if you wanted, we could just spend $100,000 in the game, and then we could just do something else.
And then
go on vacation.
then go to the Great Barrier Reef to quote unquote save it.
Yeah, they're like, what's this? And we're like, it's Eco Tetris. And they're like, you just made green pieces of Tetris.
Yes, you have to fit the trees together to eliminate the tree waste.
You gotta let the trees fall, and then they fall on each other, and then they disappear, and it's a message about deforestation. Don't you get it?
People just don't get it.
You just don't get it.
They have no creativity. Why? So what's your favorite game, Jacob? What would you model it around?
I'm a huge, No Man's Sky has been one of the games that has stayed with me over the years, and that's space exploration. So I geek out on that one. And in a way, that one kind of makes you have an appreciation for your planet, too, because you land, you find species, you catalog like what, alien life forms and then the plant life forms, and you swim these subterranean environments. So like that's a really, really cool one. So I would love to do.
You get rid of the space aspect and you make the planet you're recovering this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like what would be cool is if you could go back to like that's kind of Jurassic Parky. But I was just going to say, if you could go back to the beginning, the early, like
picture this, mosquitoes are holding the DNA.
You guys are not going to believe this. You guys aren't going to believe this idea, but they find this amber piece with a mosquito and it has the DNA of dinosaurs. And anyway.
So we clone and recreate the dinosaurs and we put them in a park.
Oh, dang.
We'll call it Triassic Park.
Triassic Park. It's great.
We tried it.
Prehistoric funland. You get to ride a roller coaster with a Tyrannosaurus. I was saying, like, time travel, you could go back into different periods on Earth, like literally the earliest formations of it, and you could travel around the Earth when it's Pangea and we're like one giant continent, and you could find species that they were like, this existed, a billion years ago, and you could like,
that's neat.
Wouldn't that be kind of interesting? I don't know.
Yeah,
something there.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
I would play.
How about you, Elise? What's your game?
What's your jam?
I like a lot. I like the violent games.
Oh, she likes the violent games. So who are we going to slaughter in your environmental game? Polluters?
I like playing GTA.
Nice.
Just, like
nice.
the role playing.
Right.
Like I don't know, I like that. And like maybe like someone can incorporate like kind of like a GTA mode into environmental, like, or say there's like a like an incident, like someone in NASA is like bad, or he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, like you have a villain that you have to go after that's like doing like a mega villain that's like destroying the Earth, and you're gonna stop him. It could still be GTA, but it's like Green Time Awesome. Green Time Awesome.
Green Time Awesome.
Do you play GTA? I played Grand Theft Auto.
No, the other one.
It has to be an environmental game.
No, Green Time Awesome. These are brilliant ideas, guys. And
we just made 3 hits.
With 3 hit games. So if that guy
give us more than 10 million.
Yeah, much more. So if that guy who's making the Beyond Blue wants to contact us, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We should have him on the show
too.
We should have him on the show. Actually, we should reach out to them and be like, we want to talk about your.
We should get them on the show. Is it a him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a him.
I thought I had a male name.
It was a him.
I want to wonder.
I should not assume.
Yeah.
What kind of species they have in this, because I know, like, I always wonder what other ocean animals are there.
Oh, absolutely.
That we haven't. So I'm wondering if they have like created something in here, like I don't know, like a deeper mission.
Right. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Swim down deep and see the freaky fish.
Yeah.
There is a cool list before we wrap things up, which is basically here's some that are already out in the world that I'm going to share with everybody that I thought were kind of cool, or at least we could hit some of them.
Okay.
We have one called Eco. Strange Loop Games. So, Eco, a title we've previously featured, is a must-play environmental science learning game. So, ambitious scale, thriving online community, and sustainability-focused survival mechanics make it a perfect pick for today's list. There you go.
Nice.
Eco.
Nice.
So there's one.
Love it.
Yep.
Eco
Then there's one called Fate of the World. Noel, you're going to like this one. Fans of Sid Meier's Civilization, which I know you are.
I was playing that on an airplane.
Yes, you were.
Just yesterday.
In your 24-hour flight to Ukraine.
It was incredible how long that flight took. It wasn't Ukraine, and yet somehow it still took forever to get across
the
this
worst.
lovely
I
nation.
hate I like flights, but I hate them at the same time.
They're all too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it was a direct flight, it would have been great, but it wasn't. And then when one flight gets pushed, and so then that turns off, then you have to like sprint to other places to get on other planes so that you can make the next flight, and then you're sprinting all day, and now they hand you a bottle of water, a thing of like, it's not even a full bottle of water, it's a half a bottle of water.
Yeah, it's a smidge.
And then a half a thing of pretzels, and they say, here's your snack. I had 2 of those. That was my meals for the entire day. So I was famished, and I was tired, and I'm glad that it's over.
It's over.
That was a tangent.
Until you come home. Get yourself ready, buddy.
It's terrible.
All right.
Sorry?
So, no, Fate of the World, fans of Sid Meier's Civilization series and other turn-based strategy games will likely want to check out Fate of the World, a dramatic global strategy game that places the future of planet Earth in the player's hands. I'm trying to do my best.
In the player's hands.
In the player's hands. Featuring in-game climate prediction models that accurately model the work of Miles Allen, head of the Climate Dynamics Group at the University of Oxford. Wow, that's an impressive game.
Right.
Super cool. Okay, this next one. Aquation. It's like aqua, but then equation. So it's like Aquation. The freshwater access game. Developed by Filament Games for clients of the Smithsonian Science Education Center. Aquation, the freshwater access game, is a free learning game designed to raise awareness and literacy around issues of water conservation. That'd be a good one for our buddies over at Well Aware. Send them that game.
Yeah. Although I'm trying to figure out even what happened. Like,
you want me to go see if I can? Okay, let me see if I.
You know what? It's okay. It's. I'm sure
I'll do one
cares.
thing. As certain parts of the planet struggle to maintain freshwater access, players must make strategic choices to build pipelines, conduct research, set policy, and allocate resources so that no one region becomes completely arid. So it's like managing environments. It's pretty cool.
This is, I mean, it's tremendously good. It's good for the kids will learn a lot who use it.
Yeah, it's education based. But to Elise's point, it's lame.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to want to become water engineers.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like for life, maybe if you're going to pay you, but I don't know if they're up for it for a video game.
Yeah.
And I feel bad knocking someone. Someone worked very hard on that game, and it was for a very important purpose. So I probably should play it before I say that. But I'm thinking, like, we do need to slaughter something.
Yeah.
There's got to be some slaughtering going on.
And that's why we'd like to welcome the creator of the Equation game right here. Our surprise guest of today's.
I'm like, what a dull, stupid, idiotic idea made by a half-brained nitwit with no face or a name. So today's guest is, and then he sits down. That's it.
I love it.
As a joke, ladies and gentlemen. No. I don't think any of that about this. I have no reference.
No, you're right. You're right. This list of games that I'm going through, like the one I told you guys about, what was called something Earth, Regain Earth or something. Remember that one? That was in the right direction. The one that was like, it's the year 2084 and the world isn't post-up. Like, that's the direction we got to go, right? Or our games. These are kind of what we would expect. This is the Christian metal of video games. You know what I mean?
But Christian metal's the best.
I know, but it takes me.
Don't rip Christian metal. Christian metal, yes, it doesn't sound like it would work. Like, you're like, this couldn't possibly work. This makes no sense, but it works.
I have a big history with all that stuff. That's for sure.
You've played Christian metal for me, and it's pretty. It rips.
It rips. It sure does. But we need more cool factor games. We need more.
Yes.
That's what we're at. So I don't know if I want to read any more of these because these last two are not cool.
Oh, did I discourage you?
No, it's
is
fine.
Why you should never have me on the show.
No, you should just enjoy your night. You're only in the Ukraine once.
You're right. I got to get out in the nightlife. I actually have to survive. I have to survive the night in the Ukraine. That's my real life video game.
Ukraine and the nightlife. That's definitely going to be it's going to be a challenge for you. So have fun.
Yeah. I can do anything, Jacob. Huh? If I put my mind to it, I can do anything if I put my mind to it.
That's right. The next game I actually had played before. It was just called. I played it. It was called Flower.
What is it?
And so it was a big game that I downloaded for my 6-year-old because we're always looking for like games that are, all ages, anybody could play or whatever. And there's this, one of the best video gaming experiences I've ever had is this game called Journey. Journey is this like, it takes about 2.5, 3 hours to play it all in one sitting. And we all played it as a family. And it's like, there's no speaking. You're just these characters that are traveling through the desert. And it's just a beautiful, like, symphonic experience, and the authors of this game just have a real artistry. So the Steam, which I play on, like said, if you liked Journey, you might like Flower, and that's kind of what it was. It was like so it says Flower is decidedly the least explicitly conservation focused game on today's list. That being said,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I think that's right. I think it should not be explicitly conservation focused. It should be a game first. And then people are wondering, what's the secret to the Biofriendly Podcast? How is it that I come out of the Biofriendly Podcast having learned something and I didn't realize that happened?
Yeah.
It's really simple formula. The focus of Biofriendly Podcast is not to teach you about the environment. Yeah. The focus of the Biofriendly Podcast is to have a good time.
To entertain you.
That's the focus. Yes.
Yeah.
We're having fun. Yeah. Number one is have fun, because if you have fun, then everyone else will have fun. It's just that we have fun around topics that are environmental. Yeah. So number one in the video game should be make a great video game. That's number one. Yeah. Above anything, like the environmental aspect should be, as odd as it sounds, it should be secondary. You should be like, we have to make an awesome game that happens to also accidentally teach you about the environment.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
And then it'll work. But I'm sorry, but House Flower, I keep ruining the episode.
I think that is the crux of today's show, which is you have to. It's like with you started out with movies too. Movies have to be a good movie, a good story, and then whatever you are trying to accomplish outside of that, if you're trying to send a message, that has to be after you've already created a good story, right?
You have opened up a can of worms, sir.
Good.
Because I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm getting in trouble with my fellows in the entertainment industry. Okay, there is room. I mean, there is absolutely room to tell an important story and to put across an important message with movies. And you need to do it. And you need to do it every year, and you need to do it consistently. It's a very important part of the whole. Right. I found, particularly after the Oscars this year, that we have been, I don't know if it's because people were locked up all year or because it was too difficult to make a movie or what happened, but the Oscars this year were a disaster. It was a joke. It was an abject disaster because everything was a message. And I'm not saying these messages weren't important. They were important. But it was, or surviving disease, or going through, like it's people dealing with
it was a
real
bummer
hard
run.
struggle. Yeah. It was hard. It was hard. And this is not to go against how wonderful some of these movies. Some of these movies were incredibly wonderful, really well done. But it can't all be movies that make you hurt. Like they can't all be movies that make you hurt, and they can't all be movies that are ramming a message in your face. That's important. We need them. We've got to have them. But every once in a while, you do need to see Goose flying through the air in a jet plane. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you need the Danny Ocean to rob a Vegas casino. Like you need a couple of those movies as well in order to bring you kind of back up from the bummer run. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I agree. Mm-hmm. I think that storytelling is always with any art form, music, art, film, TV, if you're when you set out, just focus on making it good first. Like just just a good story, a good idea, something that you want to communicate. And then if it just so happens that in your presentation you go, wow, this really says a lot about, insert issue here, then you can start to pepper those elements through.
And some people really nail that. And when they do, you not only do you share a message, but you get millions and millions of people to watch it. Right. And it's far more effective. It's far more effective when you find a way to artfully sneak it in, but it's hard to do. You can't just ram it down the throat, and that's the difficult part. And that's I think too much these days is people are so focused on the message and not on how do you deliver the message so that people will hear it. Yeah. Because I think that I don't know anyone who saw any of the movies in the Oscars.
Yeah. That was the funny. I didn't see any of them, and this is the first time that's been the case. I've usually seen 50%.
And we were all stuck at home the whole year.
So it goes to show
with
you,
nothing to do.
Goes
and
to
we still
show
didn't
you,
watch
man.
any of them.
Yeah, that's a,
yeah. That's a disaster for Hollywood. It is. It's a total disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's why when Sean Coney came on the show, we were talking about uplifting movies in 2020 to kind of like raise our spirits. But that's all you really wanted to watch last year. Nobody wanted to sit down and watch something that was going to tear us apart on the inside. Needed some fun, Yeah.
And again, I mean, that's important. There are some stories you can't tell without her, you're not going to tell Schindler's List and end up at the
yeah, right,
at the end of feeling it's too great, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's some stories that can't, but you could do Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Like you can find a way to tell a really interesting, varied story that goes through a lot of wild stuff that tells you a lot about what people dealt with in Vietnam and other things without while still entertaining.
Yeah.
People. So it can be done. I just think that the focus on that has disappeared, and I think that a lot of these environmental video games, that's sort of that would be my complaint. It wouldn't be that it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I think fun comes first, message comes second.
Yeah, absolutely. And so thankfully, it seems like the list I found, that was like, a couple years ago. These are some things in development. But it sounds like ever since this UN thing is going on, there's a lot more companies that are kind of going, okay, wait a second. If we're going to compete with Red Dead Redemption 2, we gotta come up with something amazing. If we're going to compete with Cyberpunk 2077, we got to have a game that people go...
That comes out without having bugs.
that actually works when it comes out, and that people are excited to play. So there is a way, because saving the planet is literally the subject of thousands of action movies. Thousands. So you could absolutely make an entire game. Like Elise said, some evil genius is going to do this awful thing, and you got to stop him. And there would be ways in that you go, this character is doing it in such a way that by the time I'm done, I can't even believe it, but I learned so much about the planet.
Right.
If the lead character is Indiana Jones, except with archaeology, he's an environmental scientist, but he's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like who we had in our show. We've had the
I know. It's hard off the top of my
Conservation X Labs.
Which one? Paul Bungie, and yes.
This is what you get for leaving our show in the middle of the show. It's Alex Dagan.
I know.
It's Alex Dagan.
Yeah.
Right?
Alex Dagan.
Alex?
That was it.
Yeah.
Paul Bungie and Alex Dagan. He got it.
Okay.
It came back.
Alex is this guy, right?
Yeah.
He was going to tell us a story before he got it cut off.
Yeah.
That thing, and we're going to have Alex back, and
Yes,
when we do have him back, we're going to remember his name the first time.
Yes.
So apologize for that. But when we have that's what you need. You need Indiana Jones, but he's an environmental scientist or a conservationist. He understands what's going on, so that as he's dealing, like you learn about archaeology in Indiana Jones, because he's it's not about archaeology.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, he's got the lost ark that he's got to find.
Yeah.
Or, he's got these things. He's got to find the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah.
These are things that he's got to go. He's got to work that out, and that's part of it. And you learn as it's going through what archaeology is and what's out there. But it's an adventure movie. It's about not getting killed. It's about kissing Karen Allen. It's about
going after Nazis, for Pete's sake.
It's about going after Nazis, and then while it goes on, you learn about archaeology.
Exactly. Did you just tell Arnold Schwarzenegger archaeology?
Archaeology. No, my voice fell out of my mouth somehow. It just disappeared. I was talking to him. It's gone. No, that you learn about archaeology. So I think you could do the same thing in an environmental movie where you've got an equivalent kind of character who's doing that exact kind of thing, and then as he's going through doing stuff, some of the problems he has to solve to get out of trouble involve knowing something about the environment.
Yeah, that you would have to know.
And you just happen upon it.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you learn
corny.
stuff.
Yeah.
It
can't be corny. It has to be cool.
Yeah.
Right? It can't be corny. It has to be cool. I agree, guys.
Yes.
We should seriously Conservation X Force. That's what they should.
Conservation X Force.
That would be a good.
All right, let's pitch it to Conservation X Labs and get a grant for it.
Let's go to Paul and Alex and be like, guys. Okay, one guy's an expert on was it slugs? No, it was snails.
Yeah,
snails, and the other guy
snails.
is an expert on lemurs. And you guys are on a ocean liner to Madagascar or something. I don't know.
That's it.
Anyway, that was it. That was it.
We solved it. We solved
green video games. But it was it's a fun topic to think about, and I think that the kids, students, and adults too that listen to the show enjoy your games. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. You know what? Have fun. And if you've got a great idea for a mobile game or a video game that you play online, it's easier than ever to start to pitch those things and get those things out there. There's a lot of people always looking for concepts. Come to us. Send it our way, and we'll see if we could pass you up the totem pole if we meet that guy from, Blue Planet 2. So,
well, honestly, we could talk to folks at the UN. We know them.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't realize that this was going on. It's a great idea. So
UN.
definitely send us your pitch ideas.
Yeah, we love it. Well, that's the Biofriendly Podcast today with Noel in some undisclosed location around the world.
Undisclosed.
Ukraine.
Also in studio.
By the way, I'm kidding. He's not really in Ukraine. I'm just kidding. No. And yes,
your hint is I am somewhere in the east coast of the United States.
Yes, he's somewhere way over there. Exactly. But
undisclosed.
He is. He's still here with us with his head, and I think that I'm actually going to put that in my office. I think that when you're not here, I just need to look up at your visage.
That would mean the world to me. But I need you to give me an equivalent picture of you to take with me on my trips so that I can stare longingly at it while I'm gone.
I just had this mental picture. You beat me to it. If you say goodnight to your wife, like, good night, honey, hang up your phone, and then looking at the nightstand, and there's the picture, and you're like, good night, Jacob.
No, it's not on the night. It's like on the lamp. He has it stuck to the lamp.
It's stuck to the lamp. It's perfect.
Yes.
I'm on the lamp. I love it.
I love it.
That's what I hope for, man. Well, now let's see how easily we're going to get through tags when we're not even physically in the same space.
Okay.
We are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
We are carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
We are the Siegfried and Roy and Meryl Streep of podcasts.
More than just charismatic megafauna? Did we miss that one?
No, that one's from last year.
We're not that.
Yeah, that's from last year. That's from 2020. I threw you for a loop.
This is how tired I am. Okay, good. So I'm then supposed to say this show is a joke.
Yes,
right?
That's it.
Yes.
And then I'm supposed to say never believe.
Did you say never believe?
I missed one. Is that what threw you?
Step one, don't believe.
Never believe.
No.
Never believe.
Step one is
chill out.
Believe. Chill out.
Chill out. Step one is chill out. And
that's
then,
what we need to do.
Yeah, step one, chill out. And then we had added, I felt like we had one more.
we didn't add it.
We didn't add it?
I added the Meryl Streep thing just now.
Yeah.
I just did it.
Just now.
Yeah. But there's one that we're missing.
I think you're thinking about step 2 of step 1, but it wasn't like an official one. It was don't blow up the moon.
Don't blow up the moon. Yeah,
well, that's probably all there is. I mean, if we don't remember now, look, if Elise doesn't remember, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, buddy,
perfect.
I hope your flight home is better than your flight there. Can't wait to have you back next week.
Yes, we miss you.
And happy May the 4th be with you. And
happy Cinco de Mayo.
And happy Cinco de Mayo. All the things.
I'm missing everything.
Everything. We're blowing it out, man. We're blowing it out.
We
What
can't
am I
even go to
doing?
El Matadero.
No. You should all go to. Go to El Matate.
We'll go to El Matate
the two
tomorrow.
of you and Brooke should go to El Matate in my honor.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Absolutely.
You got it. All right, pal.
Well, thanks for having me on your show, Jacob.
Yeah,
It was really good. And Elise, thanks for having me on your show.
On your show.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me, Jacob and Elise on the Biofriendly Podcast, Noel. We really appreciated you being a guest this week.
Yeah, it was great to be here. It's great. It was great. It was an incredible time. I felt relaxed.
Good.
I felt like I felt so natural.
Good.
The questions were great. It was
You
so
did
easy.
good.
And I don't know why Noel didn't say anything today.
I know. This guy, Noel, you were such a jerk to Noel.
Right.
You said nothing.
Yeah, he didn't like me very much. Your other host there, your co-host, he doesn't like my face.
Oh, man. All right, guys. And with that, I bid you cheerio.
Bye.
And bye.
Bye.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.